Season 12 is upon us, and that brings us the new legend for Apex Legends Season 12, the Mad Maggie. This leaves us with a special edition of Guide Wednesday because it falls on a Tuesday where I use my 6,000 hours to teach you how to play Apex Legends. And today we're starting with Maggie. There already has been a few early access guides covering Maggie, but they have a lot of misinformation, so you've come to the right place with the best guide. Just for your information, this video is not sponsored by EA. But my DMs are open. Mad Maggie is here to shake up the meta with a kit that practically counters every current playstyle. Her ultimate allowing for quick engages onto unsuspecting targets, and her tactical, the Riot drill, countering most legends ranging all the way from Gibraltar to Wattson and Caustic. Stay tuned to learn how to play and master Mad Maggie in Apex Legends Season 12. So let's dive right into her kit. Maggie's passive, Warlord's Ire, highlights enemies through walls after she's damaged them for 1.5 seconds.
How long that lasts? It's not a lot.
In addition to the wall hack, Maggie receives a speed boost when wielding shotguns, giving her the exact same velocity as when she's running with a gun holstered and her hands out. This effect applies when you have shotguns such as the Mastiff, the Peacekeeper, Mozambique, or the EVA 8. Even though the triple take is the best shotgun, it just doesn't count. This eventually means that you want to keep the shotgun out during rotations. Warlord's Ire also gives Maggie a massive leg up on fights where shotguns already shine, such as bubble and peek fights, as her speed allows her to rapidly peek around corners, and the wall hack allows her to anticipate if and when the enemy is going to take another peek. As an extra tip, if you find yourself in a smoke fight without a thermal sight, you can use her passive to kind of spray your gun and reveal the enemies within it. As long as you keep tracking their position, your whole team can focus fire on that enemy. Her tactical ability Riot drill goes hand in hand with her passive. This indestructible tactical ability fires a drill that damages players through walls of up to 13 meters deep, while the flame itself extends up to an additional 7 meters. The depth of the wall itself is also displayed on the screen while deploying it. Since her passive, Warlord's Ire highlights enemies when damaged and combines well with the Riot drill, giving Maggie a ton of information from a well-placed drill. It's worth mentioning that as of the date of this guide, Maggie's tactical may not always work correctly due to incorrect map geometry, separate objects, and hollow spaces used in some map areas. So as a rule of thumb, you want to avoid aiming it at map terrain and instead use it on buildings, walls, and doors. Speaking of doors, the tactical itself can also be used to break them, just like you would with a normal thermal grenade. As such, the doors break even faster if the tactical lands in front, rather than on the door itself, as more of the fire manages to damage the door. This too. Actually faster if you break them doing like that. It can also be shot from a ridiculously long range, making it the perfect tool to poke without really risking anything other than your cooldown of 22 seconds. The flames from her drill ticks up to a grand total of 160 with 4 damage per tick over the course of about 7 seconds. Beware that Maggie can be damaged with the ability as well, so make sure that you don't push into your own fire. The wall-piercing ability of the Riot drill makes it the perfect tool to force an enemy out of cover, but it's not limited to just map cover. The drill goes through most things such as rampart walls, caustic barrels, Gibraltar bubbles, octane launch pads, care packages, and more. Okay, well that's not really a surprise. It's perfect for punishing teams within Gibraltar bubbles or taking down entrenched enemies such as Wattson or caustic teams. Speaking of Wattson, her ultimate will destroy the Riot drill when fired if it crosses its line of sight. But if there's a wall between, the drill will instead destroy it and any possible fences within its range. Maggie's ultimate, Wrecking Ball, throws a ball in front of you for a long distance. This ball bounces around on walls, floors, and even other enemies until eventually exploding and dealing a maximum amount of 20 damage and launching enemy players away. If an enemy gets hit by the ball, they get slowed and dazed, sort of like when getting hit by a Bangalore rocket. The ball also leaves behind a trail of blue circles, which when stepped on gives the player a 30% speed boost. These small blue pods remain on the map until her ultimate is charged to 91% or about 82 seconds, and they do not go away on use. It's worth noting that the speed boost effect doesn't stack with other abilities, such as Octane's Tactical, Bangalore's passive, or Bloodhound's ultimate ability. It doesn't get destroyed by Wattson ultimate and can be coupled with an Octane jump pad to clear a larger distance. The ball is a great tool to quickly clear distance horizontally, allowing a Maggie and her team to quickly push in on any opening. It can also be coupled in legend compositions with other mobility characters such as Octane or Revenant, allowing for some devastating pushes. Thanks to its low cooldown of 1.5 minutes or 90 seconds, the Wrecking Ball can also be used as a rotational tool, and I recommend using it to look for openings, high grounds, or simply pushing into zone when needed. Isn't that the one from the hub? Like I feel like this legend is really good for getting farming 20 bombs. She has good carry potential. She works very well with shotguns. She has very good rotational ability with her ultimate. This is so far away. Ow! Okay, be careful about letting it bounce back. Get a 20 bomb in the first day of the season. I'm pretty sure they use bot lobbies, people who do that. Maybe he's like goated, but I don't know. We still have to see just how much Maggie shakes up the meta with her abilities and how she plays with other legends, but one thing we know for certain is that she's going to take a mid to flanker role, as her passive allows her to play aggressively but at the same time fall back and heal up if things get heated. Thanks to her passive, she's incredibly useful in making callouts to her team about the enemy's whereabouts. You want to take bubble fights as much as possible, as the speed boost allows for quick peeks, faking at peeks, and generally maneuvering the bubble better than any other legend in the roster. I swear to God, it's so much faster. Stuck in my slide. I don't know if that's intentional, but it's very buggy. Like when you take your speed boost, you kind of get locked for a second. Did he not smoke? You want to take bubble fights as much as possible, as the speed boost allows for quick peeks, faking at peeks, and generally maneuvering the bubble better than any other legend in the roster. Meaning that adding Gibraltar to your team composition with a Maggie can give you a big advantage in close range fights. Maggie wants to run a mid-range or a close-range primary such as the R31 or R99, and obviously always coupled with a shotgun. This is because she wants to be at the front of the firefight and as such should be equipped accordingly. For the best value, I would recommend using the Peacekeeper, as the new passive Kinetic Feeder automatically reloads weapons while sliding and also reduces charge time as you're sliding. This is especially useful if you're out rotating with a Peacekeeper in hand, as you'll be able to output more direct damage in a very short amount of time. Thank you so much for watching this guide. I'll be pushing for a 20 bomb on a new legend today and for a few days moving forward, so if you want to catch that grind live, come check me out on twitch.tv/Ottr. See you there, or see you tomorrow.